Well, praise God. It's your boy Charles. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit that like button. I already know this video will be fire, so go ahead and hit that like button if you can. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you care at all about your boy, share this video with the homies. Today we are drawing Monkey Luffy, King of the Pirates. If you do not watch anime, it's okay. Look, first off, I want to share this information with y'all. Your boy is just now getting onto Luffy. Okay, Monkey Luffy. First, I had to get past the name, Monkey. I ain't really fooling with that, but hey, homie has some the whole series, One Piece, got some very good morals, very good, deep, rich storylines. They talk about feminism, they talk about racism, they talk about sexism. It's really deep. I'm not joking. It's deep. So if you have kids or have a childlike approach towards life, I suggest getting into the show. I personally was referred to the show, and I just kept like, nah, man, I can't do it. It's 500 shows, well worth it. So take some time, get yourself some of that. Anyway, to jump into the drawing, with any drawing, I'm big on modeling, and modeling means something to everybody, but for me it's like getting a floor plan down. I like to know where I'm going to go with my drawing. So if you have done any form of rendering in your life, you see like people do the circle for the head and do a triangle for the chest and draw a line down and put marks where the hips would be, and that's just good practice to know human anatomy. And practice really is the key. There's no way you're going to be good at anything unless you practice. Even me rendering the black version of Luffy, it's because I know anatomy. Like, I've been in anatomy classes, and in my own free time I just draw humans, draw people. If I'm sitting down in Kroger, draw people. So if you ever want to just get good to start making up things, making up anatomy, making up human body parts, do it. Like, practice as much as you can. I would say keep a sketchbook with you at all times. Go to Walmart, go to Hobby Lobby, use 40% off, get a little sketchbook, something you can take with you, and practice. But yeah, with this in particular image, I did use a reference photo. It was a sculpture. I might throw it up on the screen right now just so y'all know what I was looking at. And I went from there. I mean, I took a lot of liberties, as you'll be able to see throughout this drawing, where I am augmenting obviously his face. I'm looking at his face and seeing where can I make these features more ethnic. Black people are definitely known for having full lips and having more pronounced nostrils, and yeah, I mean, other than that, obviously the hair, I kept it pretty much the same body type. Luffy's kind of a long, lean muscle type, so that's kind of most black men, long, lean muscle type. But really, the reason that I made Luffy black was, right now I'm working on a series using pop art. I'm not really a animator. I'm not a cartooner. I'm not. You won't look on the channel and see me drawing a whole bunch of animated cartoons and nothing like that. So I don't want to trick nobody who's looking at this video. Don't think I'm not down with the animation. But what I am is an artist, a fine artist who is considering using pop art, popular culture, to tell a story and tell a narrative. And right now, Luffy, who is he goes through so many, like, I don't want to ruin the series for anybody, but he goes through a lot of adversity where he, maybe he might directly be in danger or have been hurt, or people that he loves and he's close to have been hurt, and he feels like it's his responsibility to defend them. And some of those narratives, I feel like, can be used in my life. Like, I've been hurt, I've been damaged, I've trusted people, they've let me down, and I could use kind of a play on popular culture. Oh, I've experienced being hurt by somebody in a religious situation, and if I use the villain in the animated cartoon and make him, dress him as a religious individual, and then turn around and make myself, my bad, my phone's still on, y'all, and then turn around and make myself the hero, it's kind of pushing that narrative. And it's telling the story, especially for the people who know that culture, who know those pop references. They're gonna get, oh, okay, well, I see who's the bad guy here. And it's just a clever way in art. If you guys aren't familiar with pop art, I suggest you look up current artists such as Cause or Takashi Murakami. They do things like that where they'll take images like Cause take Sesame Street, Mickey Mouse, and he changes the narrative, right? He makes it his own, and he talks about his own things. When you see a Mickey Mouse with the symbols of death for the head, it adds a level of mortality to something so iconic that even kids can understand. You know, it's bad out there, but everything's still, at the end of the day, everything's still going to be okay. You see his imagery holding and hugging each other, carrying each other through the situation of having the head part of it being depicted as a skull. So again, adult conversations being had on a level for pop art, and a level really to me for kids. I know Takashi Murakami discusses that at a great length of speaking towards kids, because he says, now this isn't a direct quote, but he says most of the time adults already have their minds made up. It's really hard. He's like, it's really hard to have a conversation with an adult because they think that they're right. But kids are still in a learning process. Kids will still listen to you if you say eat your vegetables, or go to the gym, or don't gamble, or don't watch pornography. Like, kids more receptive to that than an adult who has their mind made up. So those are multiple reasons why I'm really into getting into pop art and using things that are organically in my like a culture I'm organically in. Right now I'm referencing Dragon Ball Z, so I might throw that up on the screen. In a previous thing I've just worked on, where the narrative I just told you about with the religious situation, I was in a church, and the leader of the church was really he has a sexual addiction, but he doesn't want to relinquish his title. And we're all men. It's okay, but it ain't okay to foster an addiction, no matter who you are, right? So I drive on that narrative. I use Dragon Ball Z. I have a religious leader depicted as in the storyline of Nappa. If you guys don't know who Nappa is, he's a bad guy who's the same race as Goku. There is a person that looks like me playing the role of Goku who's lifting up Nappa, and after he's beaten him, and then you see these two. Now, to me, the most important is like the people in the background and the place. Like I said, it in a church, right? So the location is in a church where I am defeating this person who's obviously trying to hurt the people. Because if you know the story of Nappa's trying to hurt those people who are standing behind me. And the people who are standing behind me are patrons to the church. And one patron, he's watching what's going on, and he's silencing another person who's watching what's going on and might even have experienced what this man has done to them. So the narrative of telling that story through the vehicle that is anime, that is Dragon Ball Z or Lupe or Naruto or whatever pop culture reference I decide to use, I feel like that is a new way of doing things. And if you've made it this deep into the video, I want to also discuss, like, if you're a fine artist, I would also like to discuss thinking on the platform or the plane of sharing your work to a broader audience. Because if you're dealing with pop culture, and when you start thinking along the lines of the soup can or the Marilyn Monroe, those were iconic for that era. And now for our era, you think of Cause, you see Cause everywhere. He's iconic for that era. And previously, like, also dropping names, Takashi Murakami, if you're not familiar, please go Google him. He's iconic for an era for designing. I don't know how many of you guys know this. Designing the Kanye West album. He did the bear flying out the ship, for designing currently Kid See Ghost for Kid Cudi. So when you have crossover ability, you're reaching a market that might not know how deep you're trying to go. So they see this and they just go, oh, that's visually appealing. I really hate this phrase because it's so much, it's so, really, to me, it's degrading and disrespectful, because that means you don't know how to properly give me a compliment. So you're using a culturally specific word to try to show off like this is cool to you, when you could just say, hey man, that's cool. But a lot of people be like, oh, that's dope, right? Oh, that's dope. Like, just to insinuate it's cooler than just saying the word cool. But when you're reaching people who say, oh, that's dope, eventually, hopefully, now they're going to stumble upon the conversation you're having. So yes, they like something because it looks good, but they're gonna accidentally go, oh man, wow, this is about something crazy. This is about something deep. So with that, I want to encourage everybody to just educate yourself. Like what you like, but figure out why you like it. Figure out why you want to make it. Figure out why you want to do animation. Figure out, do I want to do animation? Figure out, do I want to do fine art? How do I get started? So like anything you're doing, try to figure out why. Is this a hobby for you? Are you a hobbyist? So yeah, I say ask hard questions for yourself. But let's get back to the drawing real quick. I give y'all a couple more of ideas of where my mind was when I was doing this. But after looking at my reference, after modeling the image in ways and places that I wanted, with the outline, I went with a thicker outline than normal. Really just to make the character stand out, pop out. I'm also thinking about this from a marketing standpoint. If I ever do start the series or get the money to like make sculptures, because I'd like to make sculptures of these characters. I would try to strike a deal with Bandai and like do a collaboration, or get it put into, like, if I get put into a gallery, get it put into a situation where I can make a bunch of these. So like make these movable, have my narrative told, not only in paintings but through sculptures and toys, and really it's just reaching bigger audiences through this. But all of those thoughts came from just choosing to make these lines thicker, like marketability and making it more marketable, making the line thicker. I know that sounds like, hey, how does that have to do with all the other stuff you said? But that's the way my brain works. So yeah, man, that's really about it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If not, put a thumbs down. I can't do nothing about it. But please, if you made it this far, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Also, let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts that you'd have about my process, fine art, my approach, what I'm doing now currently. Just drop the information below. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Have a great day.